I saw this on Sephora and I was like, yes! Holidays are coming early this year. There was no way I was gonna wait for this Pippi. I had to like purchase it as soon as it was available. So this is the holiday collection from Tarte, the 2012. And this is specifically their one that they're having on Sephora. Though I think it's like the largest one. They are doing a different version on Ulta.com or at Ulta. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one. That one's like the old style where it's the box format, like the jewelry box, and it has the pull-out drawers and everything. I really like this one because it was different. Because the old box one, I actually ended up just depotting the shadows because I don't have that much counter space, so I can't just like leave these boxes out everywhere. So I ended up depotting those, and that's why I really jumped on this set this year because it's not in a box. This one's in this really nice kind of cool case. It comes with a ton of stuff, which I always love about the Tarte products and the Tarte kind of kits. This is coming with 24 full-size Amazonian clay eyeshadows, 8 Maracuja lip glosses, 1 Amazonian clay 12-hour blush in Adventurous, this shimmering rose color, which I believe is unique to this kit, 1 Blushing Beauty domed blush brush, 1 Lights and Camera lashes, and that's a little mini one, and 1 Amazonian clay finishing powder. It's also a mini. So this is what the cosmetic case looks like. It's really kind of interesting, and I would say it's about the size of like a jewelry case. If you've ever seen those kind of 3-fold jewelry cases, that's what it kind of reminds me of. It's a little bit thick here, and there is some like packaging in here. I just want to show it to you. This little ribbon thing wraps all the way around, and it's actually nicely sewn onto the back here, so it's not going to ever like, you won't ever lose it. And then see how it kind of tri-folds here. On the front, it just unsnaps like this, so it's just kind of one snap. I don't know how super powerful it is, but it does close really easily, opens really easily. This is kind of this faux kind of patent leather. It is nice to kind of see them get away from all purple, so it's just in this kind of really beautiful, very holiday spirited gold case, with then it has still the Tarte kind of traditional purple color that they use. When you open it up, it's barely fitting on the camera here, but it's this kind of tri-fold gadget as such. And so this is the center section. It has a mirror, and it does come with this little protective covering, so just disregard how scratched up and kind of not nice it looks. When you remove the covering, it's actually really good. It's nice and intact. There's no scratching. I'm gonna leave it on here just for my sake too. It has this really great blush brush spot right here, which has a nice little kind of elastic. It is expandable, not super expandable. I don't think you can really change it out for anything thicker, but it does fit this brush perfectly. And this is a decent little blush brush. It's just this little kind of like blush brush. I am not so good with these kind of blush brushes because I'm used to the giant kind of blush brush. But with this kind of blush brush, I think anyways, this is how I use it. You kind of dab it into the product and you just kind of like paint it onto your cheek and like so. Where with a nice big blush brush, which is what I usually use, you just kind of go and you're done. So with this one, you have to be a little bit more like precise, but then again, you can be a little bit more precise. I think these are better highlighter brushers, but you know, whatever. It's really soft, it has great little bristles, it has a nice kind of tapered end here, and the bristles themselves do taper as well, so like these front ones are shorter, then it gets longer in the middle. You know, it's a good little blush brush. In this center part here is where your eyeshadows are, which I think was such a smart, kind of nifty idea. So you just pull this out. And dun da da da. And sorry, it's really reflective kind of like packaging, but you can kind of get the idea that it's this gold. It's the same pattern as the outside, but it's pink now instead of purple kind of detailing. It's like this little kind of booklet though. I mean, it's probably the thickness of like a Stila palette, those cardboard Stila palettes. So it's decently thin, which is really convenient. It's really nice and lightweight. And then, dun da da da, here are all the eyeshadows. And it does have this little protective covering, which fell off. So you can see what the shadows are called. The other thing that I really was happy about is that if you collect Tarte, if you're an avid Tarte fan and you've had any of the other kind of holiday Tarte boxes, they always give you a really nice amount of eyeshadow. Perfect. But they tend to kind of do similar colors like over and over again. So I was super happy to see that this year, like I really think these are quite different. Really different from any of the other kits that they have, and definitely super different from like last year's kit. And then I also like how they block the colors kind of in these little groupings, so you kind of get an idea of what colors to kind of put together to create an eye look. The only thing here is this little section of colors and is really more purple, and for whatever reason it's pulling very blue on camera here, but this is really purple. So you have kind of this gold section, you have a purple one, you have like a more burgundy pink, you have a like plum, and then you have a blue and you have a green section. So you have a decent like variety here. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these colors, but I will point out right away that there are not a whole lot of matte colors. And so right off the bat, this is matte, this one is matte, and this one is matte, and that's it. So there's only 4 matte colors. I think if you watch my other videos, you understand I have a love for matte colors. So this one is called Snowfall in Paris. It is pretty shimmery, and it is kind of this shimmery metallic color. I'm going to zoom into the camera here. It's kind of this beautiful pearlescent white color. I wouldn't call it white, but it's probably the lightest, kind of brightest pearlescent white color. The next color here is Golden Gate Bridge. And this is just a really nice kind of buttery yellowy gold color. All of the Tarte eyeshadows, I really love their pigmentation. I think they're very silky, very buttery, like really good quality, and you always get a ton of product. These pans are decently thick and they're nice giant squares. I mean, you really get a lot of product. This color here is really beautiful. This is Volcanic Ash, and it's this black eyeshadow, but then do you see how it has little sparks of glitter in there? And the glitters are kind of more gold toned, I would say. And then lastly, this color is called Pyramid Gold. And it's ever so slightly darker than the other color. So that's the first quad. I'm going to be swatching a little bit differently. Usually I try to put all the colors on my arm, but there's a lot of eyeshadow here. So I think it'll be easier to just wash my hand off in between. So this upper right hand corner, this is Pearl River. And this is kind of more of a lilac shimmer, very light. This color down here is Seychelles Sand. It's a little bit, it's like a dusty lilac color, and that's the matte one. This one is Martha's Vineyard, and again, this is showing up so much more blue on camera, and I'm not really sure why that happens. But think of this really, this is more of a like nice dark purple color. This is Touchdown in London Town, and this is again another really beautiful purple color, but it's just coming up so blue on camera. But it's kind of this really vibrant, bright purple. Kind of reminds me of something you would see out of like Urban Decay. So then that's that quad. This quad here, this one is called Pebble Beach. This color in person is really gorgeous. It's kind of this rose gold color. It's a little bit chunkier in terms of it has kind of chunkier glitter bits. This one right here is called Boston Brick. And that one is I don't know, they have a couple of eyeshadows in here that are like almost duochrome. Maybe not duochrome, but they're so much more finely milled in terms of the shimmer that they kind of have like, I don't know, they're just really different. This one is called Spanish Sangria. And this one's, again, I think this little quad right here is going to be really great for fall, and it goes really well with my nail polish. But this one is beautiful. It's, again, kind of in the same lines of my polish, actually. It's this kind of dusty mauve pink color. And this one has little bits of like gold in it. And lastly then, this color is called Napa Grape. And this is just a great kind of matte purple color. This will be a really beautiful quad, and it goes really well with my nail polish right now. On to this quad. This one is called Georgia Peach. This is the last matte color then. And it's this really nice, pretty light peach color. This one is called Tuscan Sun. This is a really beautiful, kind of like brassy gold. It's not as like light yellowy gold as these guys up here. It's just kind of more like a brassy, almost copper really. This one here is Coral Reef, so it's got a nice great kind of coral color to it. And this one's a little bit harder to kind of get it to show up here. But this one's really pretty. It's got this, it kind of reminds me of like NARS Orgasm actually. It really reminds me of that. It's this great kind of peachy pink coral base, and then it has this little bits of gold shimmer to it. Lastly, this color here is called Acai or Acai Jungle. And you can just see it's this really nice dark burgundy color, and it has like a shimmer effect to it. So again, another nice quad over here. This quad then, this one is called Iceland Air. This one is again kind of like a light lilac color. This one here is called Mystic Seaport. This one's kind of a, very misty, kind of a lilac blue color. This one is called Hampton Waves. This one's very bright. It's a very bright kind of teal turquoise color. This one is Concrete Jungle. And that one's really pretty too. It's kind of this gray with a hint of blue denim to it. So that's that quad. Last but not least, this quad down here, this one is called Sunshine State. And this is like a really kind of chunky gold. And I think this is what people call like antique gold. It's very like a pale gold. And this kind of has more chunky glitters to it. This one is called Hawaiian Palm. This is kind of like a sage green shimmery color. This one here is called Sin City. And this one is kind of a dark green, dark mossy green. Not like green, kind of like mossy green. It has a little bit of gray to it. And then lastly, this one is called Olive Grove. And I would agree, this one's very like olive green color. So then that is the last quad. I apologize for how long this video is going to be because I'm swatching everything, but I kind of feel like if you're lusting after this and you're thinking about picking it up, but you're thinking maybe you should wait for the holidays, I would kind of pick it up now because even though it is like a holiday palette, it's got really great quads for fall. But again, the variety is really nice. I wish they had like maybe one or two more matte colors. I really love their eyeshadows. I think they're super pigmented. They're very long wearing for me. So I really am happy and proud of them with these eyeshadows. And I really just love this whole idea. This is so kind of smart because it's really lightweight, so it's great. And so on your actual countertop, if you have like, palettes, you can kind of just store it. And then when you want to travel, you just put it in this little slot right here. And I bet I don't have a Z palette, but I'm curious that maybe a Z palette would actually fit in here too. So now I'm going to go over to this side, which is the lip glosses. And it does come in this little plastic casing here. This is just kind of clear plastic, so it's super wipeable. This material too is like vinyl, so that will be really wipeable. Has a great little kind of zipper detail with Tarte on it. Closes really nice. And I do think you can expand it a decent amount. I mean, you can definitely expand it, the thickness of these glosses and this clear packaging. And just kind of up front, I think they did a really nice job with these too, because these are kind of like super shimmery, sparkly, great for the holidays. This one has a little bit more of a subdued shimmer, and then these are all just matte lip glosses. Like there's no shimmer or glitter in them. And they're calling this one Nuria. This one's kind of really nice, bright, kind of coral, pinky color. They all have this same doe foot applicator, and they're this really cute little size. Like these are perfect for like your going out little bag. Like really cute, really, really nice little size here. This is what this one looks like. And they're keeping in line with their other Tarte lip glosses. They still have a nice minty smell to them. They are a little bit sticky, just ever so slightly tacky. But they still have a decent slip where you can actually press your lips together and like, you know, move them back and forth without a problem. This color is called Anna. It's kind of this bright pink color, very like pink. And that one's actually a little bit more sheer, so that one's really pretty. This one is called Jenna. This one's kind of a great everyday color. It's a little bit of this pink, a little bit of a mauve kind of color. This one's really nicely pigmented. This one is Cassie, and Cassie is just more dusty, kind of neutral pink, if that makes sense. It's not as mauve, it's more like a dusty pink color. And that one's kind of sheer too. This one is called Mel. This is kind of a classic, kind of bubblegum pink color. This one is called Myrrh, and this is beautiful. It has a lot of shimmer and sparkle to it. It's a great kind of warm tone pink color. I have to say that I think Tarte does a good job where, yes, some of their shadows and their lip products are sparkly, but it's kind of like adult shimmer. At least in my mind, I don't think of it as being like super glittery over the top. This one is called Heath. This is kind of a nice, more brown pink. Not burgundy, maybe more like a brick pink. And lastly, this one is called Allie, and this is probably the most purple kind of cool tone, but it's still kind of a pink color. I wouldn't really call it a plum, but it's a kind of a light purple. So these are the little Maracuja lip glosses, really nice little set, tons of variety, and really happy that they're including so many. I mean, 8 lip glosses. This is huge. So here's what they kind of look like if you just pop them back in there, rolling around. Now onto the last side here. And again, I apologize, this video is going to be quite long. This actually had this little plastic packaging in it. I would say it's the exact same size as the other side. Has a great little zipper detail. Can actually expand a decent amount so that you can put a bunch of other products in there. First up here, this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay, and this is the Smooth Operator. I really like this stuff, and so these little travel ones are just great too. And what you do here is you just kind of push down, see that? And then the product spills out. It's just a powder. It's just a nice white setting powder, but it is super lightweight. And I do have some I do own like Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, but this is like way lighter feeling than that. Like really, really, really lightweight. Does a really nice job kind of setting your makeup, makes your face kind of feel like soft. I feel like my cheeks feel really soft when I use this. This is a Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. This is a great little mascara. I really like it because it's not a super, super wet formula. I like their brushes. If you can kind of see here, they are little fibers. And it's not super lengthening or super voluming, but it's kind of just enough. It's a really great everyday mascara for me. I like that it's all natural. I like the brush size. And it does hold a curl decently well. It doesn't hold a curl as well as some of my other mascaras, but again, it's just a really nice kind of everyday mascara. And last but not least, this is the gorgeous Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush, and this is in the color Adventurous, which I think is unique to this kit. I love that their packaging matches the blush color, so it's really easy to pull it out and find it. I want to say that this color, it's kind of like a terracotta. I swatched it because I was trying to figure out how to really describe it. Like, it's kind of coppery, but it's not super orange and it's not super brown. I mean, it does lean pink, but it's not a pink pink, and it's not really plummy in my mind. I don't know, I hope that that makes sense. But it's actually a really beautiful cheek color for like now. Like, I think it's a really good fall color. Again, I think it's like adult shimmer. I don't think it's like glitter at all. I don't think it's super sparkly. It just has a sheen to it, which is kind of really nice because it kind of gives you a healthy kind of flush of color. But yeah, I think it's a really beautiful color for fall. So again, this was the Get Carried Away with Tarte kit. I think it was huge. You get so much product in here for, I think it was $50 or $54. And yeah, I really like that they did this carrying case. I think it was super unique, super different. Really reusable. I mean, you could take out the makeup and put anything in here. I mean, it kind of reminds me of a jewelry case. You put jewelry in here. I like that the plastic pockets have a decent amount of room to expand. And I think that this was so smart. I don't know, it was just kind of like really uniquely smart idea to me to put the palette like that so you can just slip it in and out. And for everyday use, I will just keep this palette on my counter. It's nice and thin, super lightweight. And I have a kind of a bunch of other palettes in this format. But I think that this was a great kit, totally worth the investment, and yeah, I really love Tarte products.